What's up, everybody? My name is Donald. I work at Patapsco Bicycles. I'm one of the owners there. And I also am half of a podcast called Black and Tan, 0.0075% faster. I wanted to talk to you guys about my new mountain bike, an Epic World Cup in this cotton candy type look. Super excited about this build. I haven't ridden a bike like this where I got on it and immediately felt like it was part of me, like I did with this bike. Previous bikes before this that I just owned this year, I had right before this, kind of as a filler until this bike came in, I actually built up a super light stump jumper. It was all right. Stumpies aren't made to be built that way. So it kind of had a quirky build, but it was okay. Before that, I had a Cannondale, and we'll just say the Cannondale wasn't for me. Before the Cannondale, I had an Epic Evo, another spot-on bike from Specialized, if you ask me. If you're an aggressive cross-country rider, you're looking for a fast bike that you can throw around and have fun on, I highly recommend you check out the Specialized. So with this bike, some of the things that I built on it, I don't normally build bikes the way that the public wants me to build it, or whatever else. I build bikes the way I like them, and I build them to handle the way that I ride. So one of my favorite things that I put on bikes, ground control tires, almost a must with me. And you can almost tell my bike builds because instead of having pure cross-country tires, I'm gonna have something like the ground control, which gives me a lot of grip all year round, right? It's not gonna be the best for riding super rocky or anything like that, but they give me a lot of grip and a lot of confidence. So it lets me worry more or think more about the bike and not worry so much about whether or not I'm gonna grip in corners. And this is that new Revol one-piece handlebar. I did run the Control SLs on this because they're light. They're super light. I mean, they're badass wheels. I can run a nice big tire on them, and they're light. The whole bike, the way it sits right now, is 23 pounds. Probably going to add a little bit more weight on it once I put a dropper on it, which I plan on doing. Things that I like about it, shock was really easy to tune in, super tunable, super adjustable. Right now, it's like 3 settings that it has. You can have it in a setting to where you have 0 sag. You can have it kind of in the middle, and then you have it sagged. It's completely sagged out. I have it kind of in the middle right now, and it feels like about 100 millimeters to 110 millimeters of travel. That's not the case. I believe it's like 85 millimeters of travel in the back. 110 up front with a SID fork with the brain setup in it. This bike does not have the brain like the previous generation in the rear. Thank goodness, because I hated that. That was one of the reasons that I went with the Epic Evo, because it didn't have a brain. The reason I hated the brain setup was if the trail was smooth right before you were to bunny hop over a log or over an obstacle, and you had to preload the bike to bunny hop, I do a little manual first, I kind of preload and I bunny hop over. If the trail is smooth, the bike's gonna perform one way. If the trail is bumpy right before that, the bike's gonna perform another way. And you don't know, and you can't tell what the bike is gonna do. So that brain setup would either open the valve or not open the valve, and you can't tell what's gonna happen. So with me, it would mess my timing up, and I would find myself nose casing logs, going at speed and things like that. My timing was all off, and it took me a ride or two to figure out that it was the brain causing it. So what I ended up doing with my regular Epic was I turned that brain all the way to soft. I mean, that's why they put the brain on the bike for the bike to work as a complete unit. Everything worked together. It was designed around the brain, and when you turn that all the way off, it's kind of a waste at that point. So I'm happy that this bike does not have a brain in the back. It does have it in the front. In the front, it does not affect me at all. Another thing that I noticed about the brain setups is how you can actually hear an audible clunk in them when you're going over rough things. And it sounds kind of unsettling until you know what it is. The front fork does the same thing. It kind of makes me feel like the headset's kind of loose, but it's not. So on the front here, I am running the Level SLVs on the front and back for brakes, 4 piston. Like I said, also I am running XX cranks, power meter cranks, and XX1 shifter and derailleurs. Loving the bike so far. I'm gonna ride it more and I'll give you more feedback on it, but so far so good. I have absolutely no complaints, except for, like I said, maybe the clunkiness of the fork, but like, again, I know that's par for course and I know that it's doing it for a reason. It's not broken, so it doesn't really make me feel weird about it or anything like that. One of the fastest bikes that I've ever got on immediately and felt comfortable. Definitely feel the difference in the climbing compared to my last handful of bikes. It climbs way better. It holds its speed. It corners really good because it's kind of low. And what they did was they took basically the geometry of the Epic Evo and it put it in this lightweight setup. And the difference between my Stumpy lightweight, like I said, again, I get it. The Stumpy's not supposed to be a lightweight bike, but I got it down to 26 pounds. So for a Stumpy, that's pretty light. This is 23 pounds with basically the same stuff. So, you know, so far, thumbs up. I would highly, highly recommend this bike to someone that's a cross-country rider. And you're starting to see the World Cup courses become gnarly now as far as what you should be riding in spandex, right? So, you know, these bikes are designed to take that kind of stuff and keep it moving. Internally routed rear brake. And once I get my dropper, I'm gonna run it internally routed to the opposite side. It'll look super, super clean. Yeah, that's about it. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments at the bottom and I'll answer them. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking out this video. And don't forget to tune in to Black and Tan, 0.0075% faster. We have a podcast that goes off every other Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Have a great night. Peace.